Hey guys, how's it going? Rubik's Master here, and I'm sorry I haven't been doing videos on the event. I did play it Thursday when it first came out. I got on, looked at some of the missions, and honestly, I was super disappointed, mainly because all the missions in this event are recycled from last event. The base layouts are identical, very minor changes. The biggest changes just being in a couple of the deploy points across the bases. So I was honestly just pretty frustrated. I didn't play again until today. I've been playing a lot of Mobile Legends. I just really didn't feel the whole Nighthawk event, though I have been tracking other players' progress. Commander OC, I believe that's his name. Anyway, he shared with me a good strategy for defeating the level 50 or level 65 base, which involved 40 Maws, 4 Zeuses, and 2 Merkavas. And I can see that working. It makes a lot of sense. However, I do not have that many Maws. I need to get a lot more crits to build up more. I'm building them as fast as I can and leveling them up, but I have to build a bit of a stockpile before I can effectively use them. Excuse me. So I came on and I did play the 5000, and I used a platoon for the 5000 base. We can go peek at that really quickly. It wasn't extraordinarily efficient. I think the cheapest I got it down to was about 6,000-ish. Probably a little more because of the lack of precision or whatever. I'm not the most precise. Man, I got something in my throat. Anyway, the platoon I used was 3 Merkavas, 25 Mortarmen, and 4 Zeuses. So what I did on this base, if it'll move around a little bit, I'm not going to do it because it's a little bit time consuming. I am going to go do a different base. However, this one, what I did with my platoon of Zeuses and Mortarmen, I just deployed, destroy the walls, destroy the Mortarmen with my Zeuses, destroy these first 2 machine gun turrets with my Zeuses. And then I just start picking the base apart with my Merkavas and Mortarmen, which is pretty much the same as you would do with Mods. You just go forward with your Merkavas, distract the turrets, destroy them with your Mortarmen. It's seriously that simple. Honestly, and it's way easier. Part of what makes this event so much easier is that they kept the base layouts the same. This base uses 3 barrage turrets. And with the latest update, I guess you would call it, though it's not very good of an update. Anyway, the latest update they did with the salvo turrets has rendered them basically worthless. They're just awful. There's no way around it. They are just awful. Just horrible. Oh, I cannot say how awful they are. It's seriously just embarrassing. They used to be pretty buffed because they were the best turret that you could get up to max level, but I guess now that they introduced the Peacemaker turret, they had to do something to make the salvo turret basically useless after level 45. And boy, did they do it. The salvo turret sucks. Anyway, moving on. I am doing basically the same strategy I did last time with the level 400 base, which is previously you could deploy in the northern or the upper left side. You could deploy there and just basically sweep down the entire base with either a platoon of Zeuses or tanks and Humvee IFVs. They did nix that deployment point, though there is still a pretty good one. So, yeah, here we go. So previously, in the last event, you could deploy up here, and that made things super easy. But here, now you just deploy up in this corner, and you can use either the platoon you see here. For lower levels, you would just be using Abrams and Humvee IFVs, which doesn't make that big of a difference. Or if you have Zeuses of really any level, just use your Zeuses. And leave your AI on, just deploy the whole platoon right there, and they will sweep the entire base. This platoon gives, the Zeus platoon gives me like 300 to 400 oil repairs, and this one gives me 500 to 600 oil repairs, just because of the inherent discrepancies in how the AI works. It's not very consistent, but 3 to 4 for Zeus's, 5 to 6 for the Humvee platoon, and it's a pretty easy way to grind when you're doing other things. The most efficient one I found, though, is the 1800. The 1800 base is just super easy. So let's go check it out. Honestly, the 5000 base isn't that hard as long as you pick apart the big DPS zones, which are the machine gun turrets at the front, and then the 2 machine gun turrets with the mortar in the back. You just have to be careful around those areas. Other than that, fairly simple. This, though, is extraordinarily easy. I'm just going to go through this full speed. And guy off, deploy. There we go. Take out these guys, and even though nothing major really comes out of that war factory, I'm still going to destroy it just to, reduce the DPS. I'm a fan of not taking damage if I don't have to. Alright, now we're going to get our tanks up in front and bring our whole platoon down this way. Hopefully they'll destroy a few things on the way. And we are putting them there so that hopefully they get out of range of that howitzer. Even though the howitzer isn't really dealing that much damage, we don't want to take damage if we don't have to. Because those tanks are going to go ahead and take care of those 4th recon guys. They aren't really much of a threat. Alright, there we go, there we go. Alright, so let's restage. Get our tanks out in front again. We're going to sweep up. Destroy this salvo turret on the way up. And then we're going to penetrate the walls up here. This, in case you guys weren't here for the last event, this is literally the exact same strategy from last time. It's the exact same base. Literally the exact same base. Okay, except dadgummit. I play this on my tablet, which is way easier to point to where I want to go. It responds to commands much better. But I wedge myself up in this corner to get out of range of the salvo turrets while I do my thing, which can cause you to get in range of that machine gun turret like I have done. That's no biggie with that one salvo turret destroyed. We can go up here and take care of this mess without having to worry about the salvo turret. So there's that. Let's go ahead and destroy that barracks, not save that for later. Get the tanks out in front again and tell them to go here. Already I've taken a little bit more damage than I usually do. This attack is usually 1,000. Meh. This right here is where I generally take the most damage, just because this howitzer is a higher level than pretty much anything else in this particular base. Alright, there we go. And now let's just make sure... Uh-oh, we did miss a transformer right there. That's no biggie, though. Take care of that helicopter. Take care of that. Now that that's gone, we can go ahead and take care of that transformer with air support. And now we can go down here. I'm going to target, I'm just going to direct them initially so they hopefully take out a Humvee before they really get into it. But we are just going to blaze through and target the salvo turret itself just to end the mission immediately. And that is going to be a little bit more repairs than I'm used to. But that's a pretty I can't talk. That's a pretty solid strategy for getting 1,800 points at a time, which, especially for lower levels, isn't anything to sneeze at. Yeah, 25 gold for repairs. Let's see what that boils down to. Uh-oh, don't want that. It's probably gonna be like 1,600. 1,575. That's almost that's almost 1 oil per point for the event. Anyway, those are 2 solid strategies. Even if you're mid-30s, you should have your Abrams and Humvee IFVs, and you should be able to do that same attack with similar results. And if you have any Zeuses, you can do the grinding of the 400 base. Grinding of the 800 base for the effort required isn't really worth it in my opinion. I would rather grind the 400 than the 800 just because of the initial damage you take spawning in. Just my personal opinion, but you can mess with it. If there's any strategies y'all have been using, feel free to share in the comments section to share with everybody. And until next time, y'all have an awesome day.